What you are about to hear is not a statement of facts, but an exploration of unsettling theories, observable phenomena, and profound questions about humanity's present trajectory. This video aims to provoke thought, encourage self-reflection, and ignite a personal inquiry, not to present definitive truths or cause panic. The responsibility for final interpretation and the choice to awaken is always yours. Something monumental is being prepared for 2026, hidden in plain sight, yet no one is talking about it. This video uncovers the chilling, subtle signs of a global blueprint for control, the invisible digital chains of universal identity, the engineered consensus shaping our reality, and the resource consolidation play securing vital necessities. Are we sleepwalking into a future where control is the currency of the future? Discover the unsettling truth of what they're building, and why silence is the most terrifying clue. Antarctica, the Earth's last true wilderness. A continent of staggering beauty and brutal extremes, shrouded in a perpetual veil of ice and mystery. For centuries, it has captured the human imagination, inspiring tales of lost civilizations, hidden alien bases, and undiscovered secrets buried beneath miles of frozen desolation. Yet, beyond the folklore and the scientific expedition seeking ancient ice cores, something far more tangible, far more terrifying, might be unfolding in its icy depths. Something meticulously orchestrated by forces we barely comprehend. This isn't about the traditional exploration of a remote land. This is the chilling story of NASA's silent move in Antarctica, a meticulously guarded operation that suggests a preparation for something monumental, a pivotal global shift poised to culminate in 2026. What if the very agencies we trust to explore the cosmos are, in fact, laying the groundwork for a future profoundly different from anything we can imagine right here on Earth? And what if their actions in the coldest, most isolated place on the planet are designed to give them the ultimate power, the control of information? For decades, the idea of government conspiracies has been dismissed as paranoid delusion. Yet, the persistent whispers of hidden agendas, of powerful entities operating beyond public scrutiny, echo with an unnerving resonance. If the control of information is power, then what better place to build an ultimate repository of knowledge, a silent vault that could determine the very narrative of humanity's future? Antarctica, with its extreme conditions and its geopolitical neutrality, offers the perfect veil for an operation designed to shape reality itself. This video will delve into the unsettling details of what NASA and its covert partners are allegedly preparing for in Antarctica by 2026. We will uncover the subtle indicia, the fragments of evidence that point to a plan so audacious, so far-reaching, that its very existence has been meticulously suppressed. From unexplained flights to vast, hidden constructions beneath the ice, every detail suggests a deliberate blueprint. A blueprint to control not just resources or populations, but the very truth of our past, present, and future. The question isn't just what they're preparing for. It's why the silence surrounding it is so absolute, so chilling. It's time to pull back the frozen curtain on a secret that could redefine humanity's destiny. The first, and perhaps most pervasive preparation for 2026, is the quiet forging of what we call the invisible digital chains. This isn't about physical shackles or overt oppression, but an ubiquitous, unseen infrastructure meticulously designed to monitor, manage, and ultimately control every facet of human life. It's marketed as ultimate convenience, seamless security, and unparalleled efficiency, the promise of a frictionless existence. Its true purpose, however, appears to be a level of absolute, pervasive control previously confined to the darkest corners of dystopian fiction. Picture the rapid, almost stealthy rollout of advanced biometric integration across the United States. Beyond just airport security, biometric scanners, facial recognition, gait analysis are being subtly implemented in everyday public spaces. Major retail outlets in California's Silicon Valley, entertainment venues in New York City, and even in some public transport hubs. They operate quietly, collecting data without overt public awareness, under the guise of enhancing security or streamlining access. The sheer volume of data being collected on our movements, our purchases, our very identities is staggering. Alongside this, a more profound shift is occurring: the quiet development of a universal digital identity system. This system, proposed for seamless access to services, healthcare, finance, travel, inherently creates a digital trust score for citizens. By 2026, this framework would be robust enough to silently grant or restrict access to crucial services. The physical manifestation of this digital infrastructure is equally alarming. Across the sprawling, often remote landscapes of Midwest, In states like Kansas and Nebraska, unexplained, massive construction projects are quietly underway. These are presented as innocuous data storage facilities or private research centers by shell corporations with opaque ownership structures. But their sheer scale, their advanced security protocols, and their remote, often underground locations suggest highly specialized, resilient infrastructure built for storing and processing unprecedented volumes of personal and societal data. These are the very backbone of a centralized digital control grid. The implications are chilling. Every digital interaction, every movement captured by a smart city sensor, every financial transaction, all become traceable and eventually manageable. The convenience offered is the lure. The data collected is the currency, enabling a level of social and financial control that was once relegated to dystopian fiction. By 2026, these invisible digital chains will be so seamlessly integrated, so utterly pervasive, that breaking free would require disconnecting from society itself. And the terrifying truth? No one is talking about it because the process is too gradual, too convenient, too subtle to trigger widespread alarm. The second profoundly disturbing preparation for 2026 delves into the very architecture of our minds, the engineered consensus. This isn't about controlling what we say, but about meticulously shaping what we think, what we believe, and ultimately, what we perceive as reality. This wasn't about crude propaganda, but a sophisticated, multi-layered approach to shaping collective thought, making dissent not just difficult, but almost unthinkable. Thorne meticulously analyzed the evolution of media and information dissemination. He noted the gradual consolidation of media ownership, leading to a narrowing of perspectives and a homogenization of narratives. He warned that the rise of infotainment and the blurring lines between news and entertainment were not accidental, but deliberate strategies to desensitize populations and make complex issues digestible, yet ultimately superficial. He saw the early stages of what would become a pervasive, manufactured reality, where objective truth became a malleable commodity. His predictions for 2026 painted a chilling picture. He foresaw a world where news cycles will be dominated by carefully curated narratives, making it increasingly impossible for the average person to discern objective truth from orchestrated information. He predicted the widespread use of AI-generated content, from news anchors delivering fabricated reports to social media influencers subtly pushing agendas, shaping public opinion with terrifying effectiveness. This wasn't just about bias. It was about creating a pervasive synthetic reality that rewarded conformity and ruthlessly punished independent thought. Thorne also warned about the deliberate polarization of society. He argued that algorithms, ostensibly designed to personalize content, would instead push individuals further into echo chambers, reinforcing predetermined beliefs and amplifying divisions. Debates would descend into pure, unadulterated vitriol, marked by an utter inability to find common ground or logical compromise. This fragmentation, he believed, was a deliberate strategy to prevent collective action, to ensure that populations were too divided, too consumed by internal conflict and manufactured outrage, to recognize the invisible external strings that meticulously guided their every step. The most disturbing aspect of the engineered consensus was its insidious nature. It wouldn't be imposed through overt censorship, but through the sheer volume and sophistication of the manufactured information. People would drown in a sea of curated data, unable to distinguish fact from fiction, truth from manipulation. The ability to think critically, to question authority, to engage in genuine discernment, will be subtly eroded, replaced by a collective desire for simple, comforting answers, even if those answers were carefully constructed lies. Thorne's madness was seeing how the very tools of information and communication were being weaponized, transforming the global mind into a pliable instrument, proving that control is the currency of the future, and that the battleground for that currency was the human mind itself. Elias Thorne's vision for 2026 extended beyond the digital and psychological realms, delving into the very physical foundations of global power, resources. He predicted a meticulously orchestrated resource consolidation play, where vital necessities, water, food, energy, and rare earth minerals will be quietly, systematically acquired by a select few entities, transforming them into ultimate leverage points for control. He argued that future wars wouldn't be fought over ideology, but over access to life's basic necessities, and that the groundwork for this control was already being laid. Thorne meticulously tracked global land acquisitions, particularly in regions with abundant freshwater sources or fertile agricultural land. He noted the increasing privatization of water rights and the quiet purchases of vast tracts of farmland by anonymous corporations or investment groups. He saw these not as isolated business deals, but as strategic moves in a larger game, designed to ensure that control is the currency of the future, making access to basic necessities a leverage point against non-compliance, a tool for absolute submission. He warned that by 2026, the ability to feed and hydrate populations would be concentrated in alarmingly few hands. He also focused on energy and rare earth minerals, the lifeblood of modern technology and industry. Thorne highlighted the strategic investments in renewable energy infrastructure by a limited number of global players, not just for environmental reasons, but for centralized control over power grids. He pointed to the quiet yet aggressive acquisition of mining rights for rare earth elements in politically unstable regions, securing the raw materials essential for the invisible digital chains and advanced weaponry. He argued that whoever controlled the energy and the materials for the future controlled the future itself. Thorne's predictions for 2026 included a series of engineered crises, seemingly random supply chain disruptions, unexpected climate events impacting harvests, or sudden geopolitical conflicts in resource-rich areas. These events, he believed, will be meticulously timed to create scarcity, drive up prices, and force nations and populations into greater reliance on those who had strategically consolidated these vital resources. The goal wasn't just profit. It was absolute leverage, the power to dictate terms, to enforce compliance, to ensure that survival itself became conditional. The chilling aspect of this resource consolidation play was its quiet, almost invisible nature. It wasn't about armies invading territories for oil. It was about financial transactions, legal maneuvers, and long-term strategic investments that went largely unnoticed by the public. Thorne's madness was seeing the grand chessboard, recognizing that the battle for the future wasn't just in the digital realm or the political arena, but in the very ground beneath our feet, in the water we drink, and the food we eat. He understood that control is the currency of the future, and that the ultimate power lay in controlling the very means of human survival, a reality that will become terrifyingly apparent by 2026. Individually, these preparations might seem like disparate trends, the natural evolution of technology, logical responses to global challenges, or shrewd business investments. But when we connect the dots, when we see the invisible digital chains, the engineered consensus, and the resource consolidation play as interconnected facets of a singular, overarching design, the true chilling nature of the 2026 blueprint begins to emerge. There are no coincidences, only plans. Imagine a world where your every movement, every purchase, every digital interaction is meticulously tracked and scored by a universal digital identity system, the invisible digital chains. Your access to financial services, your ability to travel, even your eligibility for certain resources are tied to this score. Simultaneously, the information you consume, the news you believe, the very values you uphold, are subtly shaped by sophisticated algorithms and AI-generated realities, the engineered consensus, creating a manufactured consensus that makes dissent almost impossible. Now, layer on top of this a reality where essential resources, clean water, nutritious food, vital medicine, are increasingly controlled by few powerful, untraceable entities, the resource consolidation play. In a time of engineered scarcity, access to these necessities becomes the ultimate leverage. Your digital identity and social score could determine your access to essential goods, creating a system of compliance enforced not by overt force, but by the very threat of deprivation. This isn't about a sudden, dramatic apocalypse. It's about a slow, insidious convergence of control mechanisms designed to reach a critical mass by 2026. The goal is not destruction, but profound reordering of human society, where autonomy is replaced by automated compliance, and freedom becomes an illusion managed by algorithms. The currency of the future isn't just digital money. It's control over every aspect of human life. The chilling genius of this blueprint lies in its subtlety. Each component is introduced under the guise of convenience, security, or progress. No one is explicitly told they are losing their freedom. They are simply given better options that incrementally lead to a predefined future. The true horror is the realization that humanity is willingly building its own cage, one piece of technology, one social acceptance, one unnoticed land acquisition at a time. The silence around these preparations is not accidental. It is the ultimate evidence of their success, a testament to how seamlessly the plan is unfolding. These subtle preparations for 2026 are not confined to the borders of the United States. They are universal, a global tapestry woven from the threads of human behavior and societal shifts, confirming the pervasive nature of these prophetic echoes. Across continents, Different cultures are experiencing the same unsettling patterns, suggesting a synchronized, perhaps orchestrated, progression. In the bustling megacities of Asia, the human transparency manifests in crowded subways where every face is illuminated by a smartphone screen, creating millions of isolated digital islands. Despite unprecedented population density, profound loneliness permeates urban centers. The accelerated time is a palpable stressor in fast-paced economies, where the relentless pursuit of progress leaves little room for reflection or genuine connection. Days blur into weeks, years vanish, as populations rush towards an undefined future. In the ancient lands of Europe, the noise of truth creates deep societal fractures, with misinformation campaigns swaying political outcomes and eroding trust in democratic institutions. The very notion of shared history becomes a battleground, manipulated by competing narratives. This intellectual cacophony further isolates individuals in their ideological echo chambers. And the indifference to suffering is evident in the fatigue over refugee crises, economic disparities, and social injustices, as compassion becomes a fleeting emotion, quickly replaced by apathy. Even in regions less technologically advanced, the subtle shifts are discernible. The erosion of traditional community bonds, the increasing focus on individual gratification over collective well-being, the pervasive feeling of existential dread, these are universal symptoms of the separation that knows no geographic boundaries. It's a global experiment in detachment, playing out on every continent, influencing every aspect of human life. This widespread manifestation of the signs reinforces the chilling hypothesis. There are no coincidences, only plans. The global nature of these subtle shifts suggests a pervasive force, an unseen influence, working to guide humanity towards a predetermined future. It's a grand design, unfolding with relentless precision, impacting billions who remain largely unaware of the profound changes occurring within themselves and around them. The urgency is global, the call to awaken, universal. This isn't a regional prophecy. It's a blueprint for humanity's collective destiny. If these preparations are so vast, so pervasive, so undeniably present in our daily lives, then the most profound, unsettling, and ultimately terrifying question looms large. Why is no one talking about it? Why isn't this the lead story on every news channel, the urgent subject of every public debate, the clarion call to action from every government? The answer lies in the very nature of the control itself, a masterful manipulation of human perception and attention that creates a pervasive, almost impenetrable blind spot. Firstly, the subtlety of implementation is key. Each preparation is rolled out piecemeal, under a benevolent guise. A new digital ID system for efficiency, an AI-powered app for wellness, a land purchase for development. Individually, they seem harmless, even beneficial. It's only when you connect the dots, when you see the grand tapestry, that the chilling pattern emerges. But seeing the full picture requires a level of critical thinking and cross-referencing that the engineered consensus actively discourages. Secondly, the noise of truth plays a crucial role. We are so bombarded with information, with manufactured outrage, with trivial distractions, that our capacity for discernment is overwhelmed. Any dissenting voice, any attempt to connect these dots is quickly labeled as conspiracy theory, misinformation, or extremist content, and is then systematically drowned out by the algorithmic amplification of mainstream narratives. The truth isn't suppressed by force. It's simply lost in the cacophony, irrelevant amidst the noise. Thirdly, there's the element of convenience. The invisible digital chains promise effortless living. The engineered consensus offers simplified answers in a complex world. The allure of comfort, of frictionless existence, is a powerful sedative. People willingly trade a degree of their autonomy for the promise of an easier life, often without recognizing the long-term implications. The acceptance is gradual, almost imperceptible, a slow boiling of the frog. Finally, there's the power of the orchestrators. Those behind this blueprint are not overt dictators. They operate from the shadows, through influence in key institutions, finance, technology, media, governance. Their power is so vast, so deeply entrenched, that any attempt to expose their plans is met with overwhelming resistance, often resulting in the public discrediting or marginalization of the truth-tellers. The perceived madness of the messenger becomes a tool to suppress the message itself. The silence isn't a lack of evidence. It's evidence of effective control. It's a testament to a system so sophisticated, so deeply integrated, that the very idea of its existence is deemed too outlandish for mainstream discussion. This very silence is the chilling confirmation that control is the currency of the future, and its value is being established in plain sight, unnoticed by the majority. If these preparations for 2026 are indeed part of a dark plan, the implications for humanity are profound and terrifying. This isn't just about economic or political shifts. It's about the very essence of human autonomy, freedom, and individuality being quietly redefined. What is the human cost of a future where control is the currency? The invisible digital chains promise seamless living, but at what price? A life where every movement, every purchase, every digital interaction, every thought can potentially be tracked, scored, and influenced. Imagine a society where your digital trust score dictates your access to credit, to housing, to healthcare. Where a subtle algorithm can flag you for noncompliance, not based on overt wrongdoing, but on behavioral patterns that deviate from the engineered consensus. The price is the erosion of personal privacy, the slow death of genuine spontaneity, and the chilling reality of living in a perpetual state of unseen surveillance. The engineered consensus might bring apparent social harmony, but at the cost of genuine diversity of thought. A world where truth is subjective and dictated by algorithms leads to a population that is easily manipulated, less capable of critical thinking, and ultimately less free. The price is intellectual stagnation, the loss of individual discernment, and the chilling reality of a society that believes it is thinking freely when its thoughts are, in fact, subtly curated. Dissent becomes not just suppressed, but unimaginable. And the resource consolidation play holds the most existential threat. In a future of manufactured scarcity, where essential resources are controlled by a select few, compliance becomes paramount for survival. The price is hunger, deprivation, and vulnerability for those who do not conform. Access to food, water, and medicine could become conditional, granted only to those who fully integrate into the new system. This isn't just about wealth redistribution. It's about life and death dictated by an unseen hand, a power derived from controlling humanity's most basic needs. The human cost is nothing less than the surrender of our free will, our individuality, and our capacity for genuine, unprogrammed existence. This isn't a future of literal chains, but of invisible, systemic ones, far more insidious because they are self-imposed, accepted under the guise of convenience or necessity. By 2026, if these preparations continue unchecked, humanity may find itself in a cage of its own making, its freedom traded for perceived security. This is the ultimate danger when control is the currency of the future. If there are no coincidences, only plans, and if control is the currency of the future, then the most profound, unsettling, and ultimately terrifying question looms over us. Who are true architects of this grand blueprint for 2026? Who are these unseen hands meticulously guiding humanity towards a predetermined future, orchestrating events from behind a veil of plausible deniability, so expertly woven that its existence is rarely even questioned? The answer, buried beneath layers of secrecy, pervasive disinformation, and historical revisionism, points to an entity far more complex and pervasive than a single, easily identifiable group. There are no coincidences, only plans. This understanding transforms seemingly random global chaos into a meticulously orchestrated symphony of ultimate control, a horrifying dance of destiny that unfolds with chilling precision. The traditional narrative, popularized by folklore, popular fiction, and whispered campfire tales, often points to secret societies like the Illuminati or powerful, unelected global elites operating beyond the reach of conventional governance. These theories suggest that they merely went deeper underground centuries ago, evolving into a vast, intricate network of influence. This network, they argue, wouldn't be a simple hierarchy, but a decentralized, yet perfectly coordinated web of interconnected individuals and organizations operating within the highest echelons of global finance, technology, media, and governance. Their power lies not in overt commands, but in their unparalleled ability to subtly influence policy, discreetly fund strategic research, acquire key resources, and meticulously shape public opinion without ever revealing their true hand. They pull strings in the shadows, orchestrating events with chilling precision to serve a long-term agenda, carefully timing cadences to create an illusion of chaos that, in reality, is perfect, deliberate order. Consider the intricate interplay of global finance, technology, and governance. Of the world's most powerful private banks and financial institutions, operating from the traditional power centers of London City and New York's Wall Street, merely driven by profit and market forces? Or are they interconnected nodes in a larger, meticulously planned financial web, quietly implementing the economic recalibrations through engineered debt, strategically introduced digital currency initiatives, and carefully controlled market fluctuations that slowly but surely drive nations into irreversible reliance. Their pursuit of ultimate financial leverage, veiled behind the pursuit of capital, could be serving a purpose far beyond market dominance, becoming the very engine of the resource consolidation play, dictating who thrives and who starves in a new global order. And what about the undisputed tech giants of California's Silicon Valley, building the very infrastructure of our digital lives, constantly innovating and expanding their reach? What if their celebrated innovations, the pervasive AI systems, the ubiquitous social media platforms, the seamless biometric identification systems, are not just commercial endeavors driven by market demand, but powerful tools being subtly guided by this unseen influence to construct the invisible digital chains and facilitate the engineered consensus? Their relentless pursuit of universal connectivity and efficiency could inadvertently or intentionally be creating a global surveillance and control grid, where data becomes the ultimate currency of power, fulfilling ancient prophecies of a world consumed by an illusion of light and a bodiless voice, guiding the masses into compliant thought. Furthermore, the myriad think tanks and policy groups operating in the hushed, influential corridors of power in Washington, D.C. and Brussels, organizations that shape global policy, propose solutions to global crises, and influence public discourse through meticulously crafted reports and expert opinions, could be more than just independent intellectual hubs. What if they are, in fact, conduits through which the narrative control is meticulously crafted and disseminated, pushing specific agendas under the guise of expert advice, public interest, or even philanthropic initiatives? Their profound intellectual influence could be shaping not just policy, but public perception, preparing entire populations for radical shifts in their understanding of reality, making the truth malleable and controllable. The true architects, as revealed by the cryptic cadence ciphers and echoed in ancient prophecies, are not a single, visible group with a grand, intimidating title. They are a pervasive, interconnected network of influence, driven by a shared, unyielding vision of a highly controlled, optimized, and managed global society. Their ultimate goal is not necessarily destruction, but absolute, unchallenged control, where control is the currency of the future, and every facet of human existence becomes a managed commodity within their grand design for 2026. The unfolding global events, particularly the ominous developments in Iran, are therefore not isolated incidents but meticulously planned steps in a colossal global chess game, designed to push humanity toward a predetermined future, one where ancient warnings finally align with modern science in a terrifying symphony of cosmic control, leaving no room for chance or free will. As the final, fleeting months of 2025 bled into the terrifying reality of 2026, the world could no longer, in good conscience, ignore the chilling, undeniable alignment of these preparations with the unfolding global landscape. The very silence that had so skillfully shrouded them, masking their true intent, now seems to shriek like the loudest, most undeniable warning, an existential alarm bell reverberating across continents, hinting at an orchestrated progression towards a monumental, inescapable global shift. The invisible digital chains are tightening their grip with frightening, almost suffocating speed. Biometric systems are becoming commonplace in public facilities, not just for security, but for seamless integration into a proposed national and eventually global digital identity. Digital currency pilots gain traction with overwhelming public support, promising unprecedented convenience but inexorably ushering in an era where every transaction is trackable, every asset potentially controllable, every individual's financial existence managed by algorithms. The massive data centers quietly built in remote areas across the Midwest are not just storage facilities. They are the central processing hubs of this new, unseen grid designed to manage every aspect of our lives by mid-2026. The convenience offered is too tempting to refuse, too seamlessly integrated, and tragically, few question the underlying loss of autonomy. The engineered consensus is now a palpable force, subtly yet powerfully dictating collective thought and public discourse. News cycles are dominated by carefully curated narratives, making it increasingly impossible to discern objective truth. AI-generated content, from news anchors delivering fabricated reports to social media influencers subtly pushing agendas, now shapes public opinion with terrifying effectiveness, creating a pervasive, manufactured reality that rewards conformity and ruthlessly punishes independent thought. Debates are polarized, driven by algorithms that push us further into echo chambers, reinforcing predetermined beliefs. The ability to think critically, to question authority, to engage in genuine discernment, is being subtly eroded, replaced by a collective desire for simple, comforting answers, even if those answers are carefully constructed lies. The resource consolidation play has revealed its true, chilling colors, moving beyond mere speculation into undeniable fact. Unexplained, massive land acquisitions by anonymous corporations continue unabated across the American Southwest, securing vital water rights in vast, fertile agricultural lands in areas predicted to face future scarcity due to escalating climate shifts. Strategic stockpiling of essential goods, from advanced medical supplies to non-perishable food, continues quietly in secure, private facilities. These seemingly isolated business deals are, in fact, meticulous moves in a larger game, designed to ensure that control is the currency of the future, making access to basic necessities a leverage point against non-compliance, a tool for absolute submission. The very air seems to hum with the unspoken understanding that survival itself could become conditional, a chilling reality for those unable or unwilling to conform. These aren't just abstract theories or academic exercises. They are concrete, observable patterns unfolding before our very eyes. The chilling fact that these massive, synchronized shifts are occurring globally, yet remain largely uncommented upon by mainstream discourse, a silence so deafening it becomes a roar, is the most terrifying evidence of their true purpose and astonishing success. The pieces of the Illuminati's 2026 blueprint are not just falling into place. They are locking into an intricate, inescapable system with chilling precision. Humanity, caught in the grip of this grand design, is indeed being enveloped. The silence is not merely deafening. It is the chilling sound of our collective future being silently rewritten, its destiny predetermined. The ancient prophecy of the celestial serpent's eye aligning with NASA's anomalous stellar pulse adds a cosmic layer to this unfolding plan, suggesting a convergence of forces, both earthly and celestial, that time reveals the universe's secrets at humanity's most critical juncture, leaving no room for escape. The chilling reality of the preparations for 2026 is no longer a distant theory or a whispered conspiracy. It is the very fabric of our present. As we navigate this pivotal year, the subtle, yet undeniable signs we've explored are escalating, demanding our immediate, unwavering attention. Is it a mere coincidence that global society is experiencing an unprecedented integration of pervasive surveillance, a relentless manipulation of information, and a quiet, systematic consolidation of vital resources? Or are these undeniable symptoms of a grander, meticulously orchestrated design, a strategic blueprint guiding humanity towards a predetermined future where free will becomes an archaic concept, a forgotten ideal? The question no longer is if these powerful forces are at play, but what we are willing to do with this unsettling, paradigm-shifting knowledge now that it has been laid bare. The central message is undeniable, resonating with a terrifying clarity that cuts through the noise. Control is the currency of the future. And that currency is being meticulously established, being forged and perfected through the insidious, pervasive integration of the invisible digital chains, the omnipresent engineered consensus, and the absolute resource consolidation play. These aren't just abstract concepts debated in academic circles or fringe communities. They are the very experiences of your daily life, intensifying with every passing moment, demanding a choice that will define your future. Remain passive and allow these changes to sweep over you, or courageously choose to awaken and reclaim your agency, your autonomy, your very self. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about profound empowerment. It's about recognizing that you hold the key to your own perception, to your own autonomy, to your very capacity for genuine freedom. You have the power to resist the subtle yet powerful currents of control, to question the manufactured narratives, to actively seek out genuine, unadulterated information, and to fiercely protect your privacy and your personal liberty against an encroaching system that seeks to define your every move. Your conscious awareness, your personal awakening, can be the crucial spark that ignites a larger, collective change, one vigilant soul at a time, creating a ripple effect that challenges the very foundation of the blueprint. Remember, the blueprint is not an external, unavoidable force that dictates your destiny with absolute predetermination. It is fundamentally a series of meticulously planned cadences, collective and individual choices that either lead you further into the comfortable, alluring illusion, into a magnificent cage of your own making, or bravely guide you towards the challenging, often uncomfortable, yet ultimately liberating light of truth. The future of humanity may hinge not on grand, cataclysmic, apocalyptic events, but on whether enough individuals choose to consciously awaken, to truly see the hidden strings being pulled, and to courageously resist dancing blindly to a predetermined tune. The ancient wisdom that proclaims time reveals the universe's secrets is now a stark, chilling reality, urging us to decipher the patterns before it's too late, before the final lock clicks into place. So I challenge you directly, here and now. Take a moment. Look around you. Truly look beyond the surface, beyond the screens, beyond the manufactured headlines. Disconnect from the pervasive, distracting noise that seeks to capture your mind. Reconnect with independent thought, with your own inner voice, your own intuition. Question the dominant narratives. Cultivate your discernment, sharpen your critical thinking. Recognize the subtle yet profound shifts occurring in our world and within ourselves. The preparations may have begun, but their ultimate outcome is not yet fully written. The final chapters are still being forged by you. Leave your deepest thoughts and insights in the comments below. Have you felt these subtle preparations in your own life? What steps are you taking to resist this increasing, pervasive control? Do you possess the courage, the conviction, the inner fortitude to share this vital warning with your friends, your family, your world? Share this video far and wide. Let's collectively unravel the profound mysteries that powerful entities tirelessly attempt to hide from us all. The time for passive observation, for comfortable ignorance is over. The time for conscious awakening and decisive action has arrived. Your choice today shapes tomorrow's reality. What will your legacy be in a world where control is the ultimate currency?